work the other day and I was working with a patient in her 70s. I walk in and the first thing she asked me is, hey, can you help me get my briefs on? I'm like, yeah, of course. Let's get your briefs on before we like stand up and get up. And so I get her sitting edge of bed. I'm helping her get her briefs on and I'm like, wow, these are actually really nice. It's a good idea that you bring your own if you're able to, because we don't have any nice ones in the hospital. And so I'm helping her get them on, and then she tells me, she's like, I just feel a lot more comfortable having them on. I'm like, totally understand. I would rather you have them on rather than leak while we're walking over to the bathroom or in the hallway or whatever. Then I proceed to tell her like, oh, like, let me give you some tips if you're leaking with urine. And then she goes, oh, no, like I leak my bowels. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, how long has this been going on? She's like, ever since I've had my first baby. Ever since she's had her first baby.
What?
She is in her 70s now. She has kids that are older than me. And I heard that and my heart literally just dropped. Hearing this just made me so sad, but also so infuriated with society and our system. My heart really went out to her because I was calculating and I was like, you have spent more years pooping your pants, dealing with fecal incontinence, than years without dealing with that. And the first thing I think about is like, if she had gotten proper pelvic floor therapy right after her first baby, she could have had so many better years not dealing with embarrassment, dealing with fecal incontinence. You might hear that and want to laugh like, oh, haha, she shit her pants. You put yourself in her shoes. You think about going to a restaurant and not knowing whether you have a fart or an actual poop coming out and you just end up pooping your pants. How would you feel? How would you feel when all you did was get pregnant and give birth, and this is now the price that you have to pay for all of that? And it makes me so mad because like, had she had just gotten the proper rehab right after birth, she wouldn't have to deal with all of this. Now she's in her 70s. I went into my little spiel about pelvic floor muscles, what you can do, and then I emphasized seeking out pelvic floor rehab after she gets discharged from the hospital. And she was like, well, what's the point? I'm in my 70s already. I'm probably gonna die in the next couple years. And I'm like, you know what? Get it. The average life expectancy in America is 78. She's only a few years off. And it's heartbreaking because she could have had so much of a better quality of life had she had gotten the proper care when she needed. You can argue that nobody knew about pelvic floor rehab in the 80s or 90s. And yes, while that is true, she has been in and out of doctor's offices. She has had other GI and abdominal issues. She has vocalized dealing with pooping her pants, aka fecal incontinence. And not a single healthcare provider was like, hey, I think you would benefit from pelvic floor rehab. Or hey, there's another specialty that specializes in treating you and helping you with this issue. No, not a single person did. And this is what's like so maddening about our system. Like, how do we live in a first world country and women are not getting the proper care postpartum, and it's leading to women dealing with urinary and fecal incontinence when they're in their 70s? I just like truly do not understand. When are things going to get better? If you are a healthcare provider, if you're an OB, a GI specialist, a urologist, working with any sort of pregnant, postpartum, or geriatric women, learn about pelvic floor therapy. You have access to information at your fingertips. There are thousands of pelvic floor therapists just like me online on social media now that I feel like are shouting from the rooftops, and it just feels like it's falling on deaf ears. And like, it just makes me really sad and also equally infuriated. I just don't understand when things are going to head into the right direction. So yeah, thanks for listening to my TED Talk.